They said it would be the city of the future, a 100-mile-long skyscraper in the middle of the desert. No cars, no streets, powered entirely by clean energy. They called it the line.
And now, the line is being redrawn.
You are watching The Exchange Show. Two sides, one truth. And this story, it started as one of the most audacious bets in human history.
A $500 billion project in the northwest of Saudi Arabia, a futuristic megacity that was supposed to prove the kingdom could reinvent itself beyond oil.
Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman announced it in 2017. The world was stunned. Architects were excited. Critics were skeptical. And the workers on the ground, they were about to pay a price nobody was talking about.
But here's what we know now. NEOM isn't dead. It's being quietly renegotiated. And the question is, what does that actually mean? Let's go back to 2017. Saudi Arabia is sitting on a problem. Oil prices are unstable. The economy is heavily dependent on petroleum revenues. And a young, ambitious crown prince, MBS, is trying to prove that Saudi Arabia can modernize.
He launches Vision 2030, a sweeping national reform plan. And the crown jewel of that vision? NEOM, a completely new city built from scratch on 26,500 square kilometers of desert, mountain, and coastline.
The headline project was The Line, a 170-kilometer-long linear city. No traditional streets, no cars. Residents would live in two mirrored skyscrapers a kilometer high. Everything within a 5-minute walk.
And then there's Sindalah, a luxury island resort. Trojena, a mountain ski resort in a region where it barely snows. And Oxagon, a floating industrial port.
The ambition was extraordinary. Saudi Arabia was betting that NEOM could attract global talent, international business, tourists, and fundamentally reframe the world's perception of the kingdom.
But ambition and reality are two very different things. So when did the cracks start showing? Because from the outside, for a long time, this looked like it was moving full speed ahead.
The first major signals came in late 2023 and accelerated through 2024. Reports began emerging that The Line, the flagship project, was being dramatically scaled back. The original plan called for 1.5 million residents by 2030. That number was reportedly revised down to just 300,000.
And the physical scope? The 170-kilometer structure, which was meant to span from the Red Sea coast to the mountains, was reportedly being reduced to just 2.4 kilometers for the initial phase.
That's not a minor adjustment. That is a fundamental rethinking of the project.
And yet, and this is the key thing, the Saudi government never officially announced this as a cancellation. It was framed as a phased approach, a recalibration, smart project management.
Which is exactly what governments say when a project runs into trouble, but they can't afford to admit failure.
To understand why this is happening, you have to understand the scale of what was promised and the economics underneath it.
NEOM was always a financial stretch. The original $500 billion price tag was eye-watering. Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, the Public Investment Fund, was supposed to be the primary engine.
But the PIF has obligations everywhere. Investments in technology companies, sports, they funded the Live Golf merger, they own Newcastle United, real estate, green energy. The money is stretched.
And then there's the oil price factor. When the project was conceived, Saudi Arabia was projecting long-term oil revenues at a certain level. The energy market hasn't always cooperated.
On top of that, the construction logistics are genuinely staggering. You're building in an extremely remote region. Infrastructure has to come from nothing. Water, power, roads, workers.
And about those workers, we'll get to that. Because that part of the story is the part the promotional videos don't show.
Right. But even setting that aside, the international interest that NEOM needed to be viable simply hasn't materialized the way MBS hoped.
Okay, so let's be direct. The official framing is phased approach, responsible sequencing, adapting to market conditions. What's actually going on?
Multiple things simultaneously. First, the financial math never fully worked. The return on investment for a project this size requires a massive and rapid influx of residents and businesses. That hasn't happened.
Many governments and corporations quietly distanced themselves from NEOM-adjacent partnerships after that.
Second, the technical challenges were underestimated. Building a kilometer-high mirrored structure along 170 kilometers of desert is not just expensive, it may not be currently feasible at the timeline originally promised.
So is this a pivot, or is it a soft cancellation that won't be officially announced?
I think it's a genuine pivot with a realistic chance of partial success. Sindalah, the luxury island, is reportedly closer to completion. Trojena is still targeted for the 2029 Asian Winter Games. Some version of NEOM will exist.
But the gleaming city of the future that was going to house 1.5 million people by 2030? That was always a political promise, not an engineering plan.
So where does this leave NEOM in 2025?
The Saudis are still investing. The project hasn't been canceled. That word has been carefully avoided. What's happening is a recalibration.
Sindalah, the luxury island on the Red Sea, is the component most likely to deliver a visible success in the near term. It's smaller, more manageable, and targets a market that actually exists: ultra-wealthy tourists.
Trojena is banking on the 2029 Asian Winter Games as its launch moment. Whether artificial snow in a mountain desert qualifies as a genuine ski resort is another question.
And the line, the centerpiece, a 2.4-kilometer proof-of-concept structure, is reportedly what's actually being built for now, not 170 kilometers.
NEOM in its revised form is less a city of the future and more a set of luxury and industrial projects in a region that Saudi Arabia wants to develop. Less revolutionary, more real.
Which might actually be the best outcome. Grand visions tend to produce either extraordinary results or extraordinary damage. A smaller, grounded NEOM might deliver something that actually works.
Or it might become the world's most expensive cautionary tale about the distance between a leader's ambition and the laws of physics, economics, and human rights. Alex, when you step back from all of this, what is the single biggest lesson of NEOM?
That megaprojects reveal the gap between political storytelling and material reality. MBS needed NEOM to be a symbol of Saudi transformation, of his own vision, of a post-oil future. But symbols have to eventually become buildings, and buildings require math, labor rights, and people who actually want to live there.
Thanks for watching The Exchange Show. If this episode helped you understand what is happening, share it with someone who is trying to make sense of it all.